Police have been arresting the same guy for causing disturbances at the same businesses for years.
Each time the charges are dropped and he gets out of jail because he's found incompetent, and then he does it again. On special assignment, News 13's Lizzie Mitri shows you new tools the city may use to help break the cycle.
Albuquerque Police Sergeant Luis Armijo is starting to lose track.
How many times have we arrested you out of Del Taco? About three or four. Three or four. How many out of the Circle K? At least 2 or 3. Now it's going to be the Speedway.
This is August.
You're under arrest for criminal trespass, okay?
September.
You're under arrest. You're not supposed to be here.
October.
I served you with a trespass notification on Tuesday, and I made it clear to you that you were not to be here, okay? So go ahead and stand up.
It must feel like a bad case of deja vu.
You're under arrest. You're under arrest for criminal trespass.
We combed through court records and found officers have arrested or cited Pierre Williams more than 50 times in the last 2 years for criminal trespassing at a handful of restaurants, convenience stores, and hotels near Coors and I-40. Our camera spotted him too. Police see him up to 5 or 6 times in busy months, yet every case is dismissed and the police calls come rolling in again.
Police are responding to disturbances, like the time a clerk here said Williams threw Gatorade on an elderly customer and then threatened to rape the employee. But Williams knows he won't stay behind bars for long.
I'm always in court.
Where you going
It's
back?
always I'm found, innocent for real.
That's not, then you're not
Yeah,
found
it
innocent.
is.
It's
I'm
not
never found guilty.
It's not because of innocence or guilt. And if you think that's a free card for you to keep you from going to jail, you're wrong.
The court never decides if Williams is guilty or not because he's found incompetent to stand trial instead. And because he's accused of nonviolent crimes and the courts don't consider him dangerous, every case is dismissed. He's released and the cycle continues.
And so those cases, you feel like you've pretty much failed.
Because, of course, Williams is not the only case like this where competency or concerns over behavioral health issues come into play. We talked about it with Lieutenant Matt Dietzel with the Albuquerque Police Department's Crisis Intervention Section.
So is there a better way to handle these kinds of cases?
It's really hard. It's a question that everybody struggles with. Do you focus on treatment or do you focus on punishment?
Lieutenant Dietzel says the department is getting more creative. He pointed to the expansion of the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, or LEAD program.
It's just one more tool that we have. At the old days, it was you really had 2 options, make an arrest or do nothing. So anything we can do to kind of get in between those 2 extremes is a good thing.
LEAD allows officers with APD's problem response teams to decide when to send low-level, nonviolent offenders into treatment instead of jail. The hope is it will get at the heart of the issue if drug abuse, mental illness, or homelessness is really the driving force behind the crime in the first place.
The offender would have to stick with it, and if they don't stick with it, those charges come back and we're back in the criminal justice system.
While that's a voluntary treatment program, the city and the Bernalillo County District Court also launched an involuntary assisted outpatient treatment program, or AOT, in October called New Directions. Lisa Schatz-Vance is the program manager.
Ideally, we want to be able to utilize AOT as a tool for individuals before they find themselves in a situation of self-harm or harming of others, or picking up criminal charges.
So here's how it works. When someone will not get help for a mental health diagnosis on their own and is ending up in jail or the hospital as a result, a roommate, family member, or qualified professional can take action. They can ask a civil court judge to order that person into the year-long treatment program, which can include things like case management services, therapy, and medication. It aims to reduce hospitalization, incarceration, and homelessness while improving the lives of people suffering from serious mental illnesses.
For our first year of operation, we are projected to serve approximately 100 individuals.
This has been a long time coming. The law that paved the way for programs like these in New Mexico passed back in 2016. But Albuquerque just got a federal grant to fund their program here about a year ago. Doña Ana County has had its own program for 3 years now and says it works. They sent us testimonials like this.
They've made me confident that I can accomplish anything I need to. And I've got contact with all of my children now. And You know, I'm stable.
But having treatment programs available is only half the battle. Mental health defense attorney Max Kaufman points out the need for communication and collaboration between agencies like the Public Defender's Office, the District Attorney's Office, police, and the jail, with treatment providers to make sure people in need are identified early and actually get connected to available services.
One of the fundamental issues that we see in Albuquerque is that there's no coordination between all these parties. So we're duplicating efforts, or we're not addressing the needs when they need to be addressed, and so people are falling through the cracks.
But he's hopeful the work of a local criminal justice council is changing that.
It feels that there's hope on the horizon for many individuals suffering mental illness in this community.
For many, but for Williams, it's still unclear.
The papers I give you, I expect you to obey them.
I do!
How many times have I arrested you for not obeying them?
The number keeps climbing. He was in and out of jail again as recently as yesterday. On special assignment, Lizzie Mitri, KRQE News 13.